Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Itipiso Bhagavaraham Samma Sambuddho Vidyacharana Sampanno Sulato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisadamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati. Namo Tassa Samma Sambuddhassa. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Vapanayako Pachatang Veditabbo Vinnohiti Namo Tassaniyanika Sadammasa Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango Jupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango Yapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango Same Chipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Puggala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sango Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakkineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati Namo Tassa Atta Arya Puggala Mahasangasa Sukhyantu Mangalo. So this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, it is in several sections. It's quite long. And of course, each section has some profound, like say, message. So though it started the different events in this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta that we are going to see, it started a couple of months before actual Mahāparinibbāna of Lord Buddha, the great demise of Buddha. That is what is Mahāparinibbāna. So I was telling you what is Nibbāna, what is Parinibbāna, what is Mahāparinibbāna. So the great demise of Buddha is called Mahāparinibbāna. So this sutta, this discourse, the different events that are discussed in this discourse, they started long before the actual great demise of Lord Buddha. So it's like a very, very fascinating, very beautiful novel. That flow, that rhythm, that flow in these events and the interactions, the discussions, quite fascinating. Point number one. Point number two, there are some very powerful messages in each of the interactions, in each of these events. That is the reason I thought of, like say, discussing this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. Maybe for a couple of weeks, couple of these Sunday Dhamma talks. Because when we start something, we should finish it off. That is the best way to learn anything or to do anything for that matter in the life. So that is the best way. That is one more reason. But the main reason is there is a beauty, there is rhythm, there is that aesthetics is there in each and every event, in each and every discourse, discussion, interaction of Buddha during these, like say, during his journey to the ultimate, the last place that he wanted to spend on this human world. And to take Mahāparinibbāna, he started traveling. He starting from this Rajgir, Gijjakuta. There he met several people that we have seen in the last discourse. And then he Ambalattika, one more place, important place, because he knew very well that now I should not give up this body, leave this body without meeting my lay people, my lay followers and my monastic followers. I should give a clear message so that they should remember forever and it should help them to progress in this path of liberation. So Dhamma. So he wanted to comprehend and to deliver and to give. Even at this last stage, that was his compassion towards the people who are dependent on him. So because of that reason, it's like my last, like say, journey that he started from this Gijjakuta, like Rajgir. From there he started, and of course in Rajgir also, and in Ambalatika, and in Nalanda, where he met Sariputta. And he gave one very powerful message when he was discussing with Venerable Sariputta. So what is that? See, though you don't know how powerful I am, how great I am, how much I am liberated, you don't know my mind. You are not encompassed your mind, or you have encompassed my mind with your mind, or you have not seen the previous Buddhas, or you can't foresee the minds of the future Buddhas, but still authoritatively are declaring, like a lion, like lions roar, we are declaring that me, that is Gautama Buddha, I am the supremely enlightened one. There is no other teacher who is more enlightened than me. That's what you are declaring. But on what basis you declare? For that, again, very intelligent answer is given by this Venerable Sariputta. There is no need. Although I don't know about previous Buddhas, future Buddhas, or I don't know about the present Buddha, that is you. By thoroughly encompassing your mind with my mind, I can't penetrate into the powers of your mind, your complete emancipation. But still, why I am declaring? Because of the drift of the Dhamma. The drift of the means like the flow of the Dhamma, where it takes, that I am very clear. That's what is one very, very powerful message. And that's what Buddha has told several times, that each and every word of mine, it should liberate you. It should fix your defilements, and thereby it should liberate you. It should fix your negativities, your weaknesses, your defilements, your kleshas, your cankers of the mind, and it should authoritatively fix them, whatever knowledge or wisdom that you are gaining, whether it is experiential wisdom through meditation and through some practice of parmis or punya kriyas, or by listening, or by analyzing, thinking. Bhavanamaya panya, chintanamaya panya, swatamaya panya. That means by listening, one can get wisdom. By thinking, analyzing, one can get wisdom. And by experiencing, with awareness, with mindfulness, with developed consciousness, one will realize the wisdom. These are the three ways to realize wisdom. So, whatever wisdom I realized with your teachings, either by listening or by analyzing whatever you spoke, and whatever I realized in my mind and body, by going through your instructions, by following your instructions, I'm very sure that this will take me to ultimate liberation. That is very clear. From different angles, of course, he is also very wise, the wisest of all the disciples of Buddha. From multiple angles, I have analyzed, I have seen that whatever you speak, whatever you have taught, it liberates my mind in a very authoritative way, that I am very sure. And of course, he himself went through so many other masters, other teachers, other teachings. And he was very sure that this is the way, this is the path, this is the drift, this is the flow that will take me to the ultimate liberation, ultimate emancipation, the great ocean of emancipation, the great ocean of Nibbana. If that much I have tested you, I have analyzed you, your teachings, and experimented your teachings, and what is there to doubt about you? What is there to have confusion in your teachings? So it is so authoritative. That is the reason why I am proclaiming, I am roaring like a lion about the authoritativeness of Buddha, authoritativeness of Dhamma, and authoritativeness of his teachings, that is Dhamma. And also the liberated or the emancipated disciples, that is the Sangha. All these things, this Sariputta, with his tremendous wisdom, tremendous intelligence, he could observe and he could declare that there is no other teacher who is better than Buddha in helping people to liberate themselves or achieve enlightenment or to reach the other shore, cross this samsara. So that is one of the powerful messages in this first section. The same way, there is one more message in the second section of this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. And of course, in the first section, Buddha highlighted the importance of Shil, Samadhi, Panya for different groups of audience when he started traveling. And then, of course, so highlighting the power of, the importance, the significance of Nibbana, not being satisfied with some kind of petty achievements, spiritual achievements. So one should not, like say, distract from or deviate from the ultimate goal of Nibbana, the ultimate state of Nibbana, the ultimate achievement of Nibbana. So that's what is highlighted in the first section. So that in the second section, of course, this absolute emancipation is the core, but there are different ways and means that Buddha has to explain this for different kinds of audience, and that also we will just, like say, understand, analyze, explore in the second section. What are the different ways and means? Again, Buddha highlighted about this emancipation or liberation, the different approaches, the different paths to achieve this that Buddha has discussed, that we will see in the second section also. Because this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, the last days of Buddha, it is like the summary of the entire life of Buddha, entire teachings of the Buddha in his entire life. It is like a summary. It's like one conclusion kind of thing. So it's like conclusion of the teachings of Buddha. So it's in the conclusion or in the summary, you will see the main highlighting points, which are so authoritative, so important, so much comprehended. So that is the beauty of this sutta, this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. So now we will continue this second section. The first section, Buddha, after teaching this Vassakara and Sunida, the two ministers who are building one great fort, great wall to protect this Magadhan empire, this empire of this Ajatashatru from this the Republic of Vaisali, the Vajjian Republic. Vaisali was the capital. So the Vajjian Republic, of course, the kings, they fight. Though both these kingdoms or both these kings or their subjects, they're all followers of Buddha. But Buddha, of course, in those days, though Buddha used to teach non-violence, non-killing, but politics is politics, you see. Even during the time of Buddha, also he could not completely stop violence, especially in those Kshatriya, these rulers who are more violent. Now, of course, it is democracy and there is softer version of politics. But during those days, politics means violence. If that is the situation, though, of course, a lot of violence has been, reduced, it has been, subdued with the teachings of Buddha. But still, there were some fears, there were some doubts about other kings, the neighbor kings. And the kings, they used to protect their kingdoms by building walls or forts or so many other ways and means. In the same way, this Ajatashatru, he was building, and this Sunida and Vassakara, two ministers, they were in charge of this. And Buddha could foresee that the place where they were building, it was a small village, that Patali Gama, but Buddha could see it becomes a very, very great city. So, and also he blessed all the people in that place, and of course this retinue of this Sunida and Vassakara with Dhamma and the importance of Shil, Samadhi, Panya, and to encourage them to practice Shil, Samadhi, Panya, and of course encourage people to become generous, become charitable, and that is the basis to practice Shila, and Shila is the basis to practice concentration, Samadhi, and Samadhi is the basis to get the insight knowledges, that is Panya. In that way, Buddha taught those people also. And then again, after this Pataliputra, or this Patna, they have to cross the river Ganga, the Ganges. In Patna, the Ganges flows. And after crossing that, they have to enter into this Vajjian province, because that was the plan of Buddha. First this Magadhan Empire, then the Vajjian Empire, then the Mallas. He wanted to teach them. And there in the Mallas province, he wanted to take Mahāparinibbāna. It's in Kushinara, Kushinagar, the present day Kushinagar. So that was the plan. So now he crossed this Ganges. Everybody, they were thinking that when whatever ford the Buddha uses, the boat or the ford, that we should call it as Gautama ford, and whatever gate he enters, we should call it as Gautama gate. But Buddha, within no time, he crossed the river with his supernormal powers, along with his retinue, along with the disciples. And then there also he gave one discourse. The lay people, the masses, they simply, they will keep on waiting to cross the samsara with this and with that. But a wise man, he has already crossed. That means so even this symbolism also, Buddha wanted to highlight the importance of crossing this samsara, crossing this worldliness, not getting trapped into this so-called worldliness or samsara. In that message also, in that that supernormal power also, symbolically Buddha is highlighting the importance of crossing this samsara. It means achieving nibbana, achieving enlightenment or liberation. So with that last message, he crossed this river Ganges, and he left this Magadhan Empire, and he entered this Vajjian Empire. And then as soon as he crossed this river Ganges, he told this Ananda, now we will go to Kotigama. There was one place called Kotigama. After crossing this river Ganges, we will go there and we will teach our lay disciples and also the monastic disciples. In all these different towns or villages or the cities, there were innumerable, of course, lay disciples and also the monastic disciples with many monasteries. In each of these places where Buddha is traveling. And there was in that place, Kotigam also, Buddha wanted to meet the monastic disciples and also the lay disciples and to teach them and to establish them in this Dhamma, in this path of emancipation, liberation. Then after reaching there, he addressed the monastic disciples and also the lay people. So in that discourse, Buddha highlighted the importance of Four Noble Truths. If you can't understand Four Noble Truths, you don't get that inspiration or that motivation to work on one's own mind and to liberate oneself. Because all the bondage is in the mind. All the liberation is also in the mind. So you should make use of the factors that will, the friends in the mind or the factors in the mind that will fix these enemies or the factors that will bind us to this samsara. And one should liberate from all these bondages or these bindings. For that, the refuge is actually one's own mind only. So one should take refuge in one's own mind. Again, for what? For fixing the negativities of the mind, which are responsible for this bondage, for this samsara. So for that, one has to have the clear understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Craving is the cause of suffering. Any kind of craving, any kind of attachment, that is the cause of suffering. And the ability to let go, all the mental wholesome factors, they will, in some way or the other way, it will help you to learn this art of letting go. But art of letting go is also very much there in our mental faculties, mental factors. We should identify them, we should discover them, and we should develop them, and thereby we should fix the mental factors which will trap us, which will take us to different kinds of attachments in this world. and thereby one should liberate the mind. So for that, the gist of the last two noble truths: letting go is the cause of happiness. Letting go is the way to fix the dukkha, suffering. Craving and attachment are the cause of suffering. Letting go is the cause of happiness, or the way to fix the suffering thoroughly, authoritatively. The fixation of suffering depends on how much capable, how much skillful you are in this art of letting go. So this, if you don't understand, then you don't get the direction, any direction to liberate your mind towards this emancipation. You don't get the direction. Forget about the motivation, even the direction you don't get. In that way, Buddha encouraged them by giving a relatively longer discourse on these Four Noble Truths. By not understanding the noble truth of suffering, we have fared on by not understanding the noble truth of the origin of suffering, of the cessation of suffering, or of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. We have fared on around that cycle of birth and death. And by understanding this only, you can destroy these rounds of births and deaths. So understanding the Four Noble Truths, noble truth of suffering, noble truth of cause of suffering, that is, the craving, the attachment is the cause of suffering, and the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Cessation means like the destruction of suffering. That means happiness. When the suffering is destroyed, then you end up with happiness, right? But happiness, people understand in so many worldly terms also. That's why Buddha has not used this word happiness here, the third noble truth. He used the destruction of suffering, cessation of suffering, the ultimate, the very, very refined happiness, the very, very subtle happiness. So even the sensual things also, people may say that this is also happiness. In that way, just to avoid that kind of worldly happiness, Buddha has not used this word happiness, and instead he used this cessation of suffering, the destruction of suffering. So in that way, Buddha has highlighted cessation of suffering. That means the way to achieve the ultimate happiness, Nibbana, Nibbānaṃ paramam sukhaṃ. Ultimate happiness is Nibbana. So he is not interested in any other versions of happiness. His happiness is nothing but the Nibbana. Because of that reason, Buddha, in these Four Noble Truths, he has to talk about cessation of suffering instead of the ultimate happiness or happiness, whatever it may be. And again, the path that leads you to this cessation of suffering, that means the path that takes you to this ultimate happiness. That is the cause of this ultimate happiness. The ways and means to achieve this ultimate happiness. That is the Noble Eightfold Paths, starting from this right view. So in that way, Buddha has to explain these Four Noble Truths again to this congregation, to these different disciples. And then, not seeing the Four Noble Truths as they are, having long traversed the round from life to life. If you see the Four Noble Truths as it is, then there is no need for you traverse from life after life after life in this repeated cycle of births and deaths. There is no need. As soon as you see the Four Noble Truths as they are, then you are free from this repeated births and deaths, this cycle of births and deaths. That is the like say authoritative statement, declaration. That's how Buddha proclaimed, declared the power of Four Noble Truths. These being seen, becoming supports pulled up, sorrow's root cut off, rebirth is done. All those supports, all those roots which are the cause of the rebirth, they will be destroyed as soon as you see the Four Noble Truths as they are. So in that way, Buddha gave this discourse on the importance of seeing authoritatively the Four Noble Truths And then in this place called Kotigama. So again, he continues on this importance of this 3-step training, this Shil Samadhi Panya. This Noble Eightfold Path, it can be condensed into this Shil, Samadhi and Panya. Shil means like your right speech, right action, right livelihood. That is the Shil. Samadhi means the right mindfulness, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. And of course, Panya means like the insight knowledge just about these 4 noble truths, the right view, all these things, of course, authoritatively at the ultimate level. If you can see the mentality, the materiality, how they are changing, how they are anicca, dukkha, and anatta, how good begets good, bad begets bad, how this law of action and reaction, it works in this existence. All these things, if you realize at the authoritative, at the ultimate level, that becomes Panya. So in that way, this very noble eightfold path, it can be condensed, or it can be, like say, summarized into 3 steps: Shil, Samadhi, Panya. That also Buddha explains to these people in this Kotigama. This is morality, that is Shil. This is concentration, that is Samadhi. This is wisdom, that is Panya. Concentration, when imbued with morality, brings great fruit and profit. Always one supports the other in this order. The Shila, if you establish correctly in Shila, whether it is 5 Shila, or 8 Shila, or 10 Shila, or 227 Shila, whatever it may be, truthfully, authoritatively, if you establish on this, then automatically you will be transcended, or you will be like, say, you will swiftly, very lucidly, you will move to the next step, that is the concentration. Because for concentration, Samadhi is for Shila is the basis. For Samadhi, Shila is the basis. When wisdom, when imbued with concentration, it brings great fruit and profit. So when you want to realize how you are attached to this, the body and mind, how you can detach from this by knowing the nature, actual nature of the body, actual nature of the mind, that is what is wisdom. That kind of insights, you will get if you have developed this concentration authoritatively, Samadhi authoritatively. And that's how you will get great fruit and great profit. The mind imbued with wisdom becomes completely free from the corruptions. That is, from the corruption of sensuality, of becoming, of false views, and of ignorance. These are all the different corruptions in the mind, different negativities, different cankers, different defilements, like the defilement of this sensual desires, of becoming, bhava. I want to become this, become that I-ness and minus, pushing that I-ness and minus. But is also, it will be subdued. False views, wrong views will go away from your mind. And then ignorance, avidya, all kinds of ignorance. Because you will come to know the happiness is in letting go. So any other thought in your mind, any other knowledge that you think the happiness is in holding on to something, actually that is ignorance. That is again the summary of the 4 noble truths. So happiness is in the art of letting go. The more you let go, the more happy you become. That wisdom is not there, then you are ignorant. So all kinds of other attachments are rooted in this kind of ignorance. So if you are free from this ignorance of getting something is the way to get happiness, then you are a fool. Letting go is the key, is the way, is the path to happiness. So if that knowledge, that wisdom arises in your mind, then you are free from ignorance. So all these kinds of the mental cankers, like avidya, ignorance, this ditti, wrong views, and this bhavatanaha, to become something, kamatanaha, to get some uh, uh, sensual happiness, or these sensual desires. So that is all these cankers, all these negativities of the mind, it will go away and you will be emancipated. When the Lord had stayed at Kotigama, as long as he wished, he said, Ananda, let us go to Nadika. Yes, sir, said Ananda. And the Lord went with a large company of monks to Nadika, where he stayed at the brick house. And the Venerable Ananda came to the Lord, saluted him, and sat down to one side and said, Lord, the monk Salha and the nun Nanda have died at Nadika. What rebirth have they taken after death? And he started. Ananda, of course, he is a very innocent monk with regard to the spiritual attainments. Of course, in the worldly things, he is very smart, very, very intelligent, well, with tremendous memory, with a lot of skillfulness, with a lot of devotion and faith in Buddha, and also a lot of compassion towards the people, the disciples and other people also. So he wanted to know, like many great disciples, both lay disciples and also the monastic disciples, they have died in that place, Nadika. And he wanted to know where they have taken rebirth, in which plane. That he wanted to know. That he started asking Buddha. So and so, this monk, that nun, Nanda, and the lay follower, Sudatta, and the lay woman follower, Sujata, the lay followers, Kakuda, Kalinga, Nikata. There's so many people. Santutta, Baddha, Subadha have all died in Nadika. What rebirths have they taken? Of course, initially Buddha, with some patience, he started answering his question. This person has taken rebirth here in this plane, in this plane of existence, in this realm, as so and so, as Deva, or something like that, whatever, wherever they have taken rebirth. Or some of them, they have completely emancipated, they became arahants. For them, no rebirth. They have emancipated into Nibbana, like some, this Salha, and some of them, they have reached one state called Anagami. It's one very, very superior state. So it's almost like the highest states of Brahma realm. From there, they don't come back. From there itself, they will enter into Nibbana. Some of them, they have taken that state of this superior Shuddhavasa Brahmas. Like they became Anagamis. And some of the lay people, they became Anagamis or Sagdagamis. Only one time they will come back. And some disciples, they have become Sotapannas. They will not take rebirth in the lower realms, like the animal realm or in the ghost realm or in the hells. They may come back to the human world maximum 7 times, or they may come back to some divine realms also. In that way, Buddha started answering who has taken rebirth in which plane of existence. And and the number of people also who died recently in this city or in this town. Some 60 people, they have taken rebirth in this Deva plane, or as human plane, or as Anagamis, or as Sotapannas, Sagdagamis, and how many of them become completely emancipated. In that way, Buddha started explaining. Well over 500 by the destruction of 3 fetters or stream enterers, that is Sotapannas, incapable of falling into the states of woe. States of woe means like this animal realm, hellish realm, they won't fall into that states of woeful states. So in that way, Buddha, he was giving some answer. Then again and again, if that kind of a question that is not relevant actually, not very relevant. So because of that reason, what Buddha started explaining, Ananda, it is not remarkable that that which has come to be as a man should die. Everybody will, when has taken birth, then he has to die. What is great thing that you are informing so and so has died, so and so has died? There is no meaning in this. There is no knowledge, there is no wisdom in talking about these things. But that you should come to the Tathagata to ask the fate of each of those who have died. That is a weariness to him. That means for Buddha himself, that Buddha is talking about. You keep on asking, so where this person has taken rebirth, where that person has taken rebirth, then it is simply unnecessary, tiresome. It's weariness for me. Therefore, Ananda, I will teach you a way of knowing the Dhamma. It's called the mirror of Dhamma. So in the previous section, we have seen the drift of Dhamma. The drift of Dhamma is like each and every word of Buddha, it talks about liberation, it talks about freedom. Very authoritatively, hitting the core problem that will bind you to this worldliness. And that is our own defilements are the cause of our bondage, our binding to this world. When you fix them, then you will be liberated. That's what Buddha talks about. And the different ways and means to fix our defilements. That's what Buddha's teachings are all about. So once you understand that, then you have understood the flow of the Dhamma, the drift of the Dhamma. The flow in that very superior direction, in that ultimate direction towards Nibbana. That is what is drift of Dhamma. That Sariputta has understood. Now, if you want to know, which disciple has reached which plane of existence after his death, I will give you the mirror of Dhamma. So one can reflect his own image in that mirror of Dhamma, and he can decide where he has taken rebirth or where he will take rebirth. There is no need to find out, discuss, argue about, or having even some curiosity of where one has taken rebirth. One can reflect one's own mind, one's own growth in this Dhamma. And based on that, he can decide that where he will take rebirth. And other people also can decide where he has taken rebirth. Don't make it a big issue and don't make me weary. It's like it leads to simply weariness. In that way, Buddha, he gives this mirror of Dhamma. The previous section, it is drift of Dhamma, the flow of Dhamma, where it takes us. That Sariputta knows very authoritative. That's why he could declare, he could roar like a lion. There is no other teacher who is better than our Lord Buddha. The same way, now in the second section, if you know the mirror of Dhamma, then you can say where you will take rebirth, and others also can easily conclude that where this person has taken rebirth. There is no need to make a big fuss about this. There is no need to make a big issue from this, out of this. So in that way, Buddha started giving this, what is called this mirror of Dhamma, whereby the Aryan disciple, if he so wishes, can discern of himself. I have destroyed hell, animal rebirth, the realm of ghosts, all downfall, evil fates and sorry states. I am a extreme winner, incapable of falling into states of woe, certain of attaining Nibbana. Who can decide, who can declare like this? I am Sotapanna, I don't fall into the lower realms. So who can be, who is assured of this? Like, I will not fall into the lower realms. That is what is required, right? At least, if not to become a completely emancipated person who enters into Nibbana after his death, at least everybody, they aspire to become Sotapannas in this dispensation of Buddha. Sotapanna means like, you will not fall into the lower realms. The lower realms means the realms of the planes of existence below the human realm. There are four, of course, many of you know. The hellish realms, the ghost realms, the animal realm, and this angry, evil or angry titans, fighting titans, in Asura realm. So one can decide, or one can find out by oneself where his rebirth will be. So he will not fall into this kind of states of woe. That means he becomes a Sotapanna. If you want to know that whether you become a Sotapanna or whether you are not become a Sotapanna, I will give you one kind of thumb rule. It is what is the mirror of Dhamma. So you see yourself in that mirror, and then you can decide that whether you have achieved Sotapanna or not. Because that is a very crucial stage. Once you achieve Sotapanna stage, that stream enterer, that means you entered into the stream of Nibbana, and there is no going back. So you will be taken in that stream, in that drift of the Dhamma, and you will reach the ocean, that is Nibbana. So because of that reason, so you should know whether you have become Sotapanna or not. I'll give you a thumb rule, a formula kind of thing, a mirror of Dhamma. So what is that? What is this mirror of Dhamma by which he can know this? Here, Ananda, this Aryan disciple, is possessed of unwavering confidence in the Buddha. Yes. So here, the question of confidence in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. If it is unwavering means there is not even an iota of doubt about these qualities of Buddha, qualities of Dhamma, qualities of Sangha. Because all these things, if you summarize these three gems, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and the qualities of these three gems, it is nothing but the knowledge of ultimate liberation, the wisdom of liberating oneself from the clutches of these so-called defilements of the mind. Again, using the wholesome practice of the mind. Not with some supernormal powers, not with some prayers, not with some the grace of the teacher or some superior power. There may be a little bit of grace, a little bit of humbleness, all adoration, all these things may be there. But ultimately, your own mind will grow, will develop the wholesome factors and fix these defilements of the mind, and thereby you will liberate. So all these three things, the triple gems, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, they have this nature of, or they symbolize, they symbolize this mind liberation. That's all. Your faith in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is nothing but your faith in this knowledge of liberating the mind from all the defilements to reach this ultimate, its ultimate purity, that is Nibbana. That's all. That's what these three things they indicate. But if you start knowing the different ways and means that Buddha has explained this art of liberating one's own mind, then automatically you will have tremendous faith in Buddha, and automatically have tremendous faith in the teachings, that is the Dhamma. And automatically you will have the tremendous faith in the liberated or in the Aryan disciples of Buddha. That means, like, not only Buddha, even with his teachings, many have liberated their minds and they became Sotapannas, Sagdagamis, Anagamis, Arahants. So it is not the knowledge that is only for Buddha. No, it is for everyone. That's why this Sangha has been formed. That's why many have been liberated by following this path, by following these teachings, by having complete confidence in Buddha and following his teachings. In that way, it's not like one kind of blind faith. It is the faith in this art of liberating the mind. The faith in the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and the qualities of the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, is nothing but the faith in this art of liberating the mind. That's it. So if you are sure that the Supremely Enlightened Buddha, he discovered this art, this ways and means to liberate the mind, and he preached this, he taught this, and that is what is Dhamma, and you have understood that from different perspectives, different angles, different dimensions, and thereby you are very sure that this is the way, just like this Sariputta, he was so sure, very sure about the drift of the Dhamma. That way, if you are very sure about that, this different ways and means of this Buddha's teaching, that is nothing but Dhamma, that will liberate me. And because of that, you have complete confidence in Dhamma also. And also in the Sangha, it's not only Buddha who has discovered and liberated himself, and with his teachings, he could liberate others also. Thereby, it really should help me also That kind of confidence, if you get by knowing about the enlightened disciples of Buddha and their teachings and their confidence, like the way we have seen this Sariputta, who proclaimed, who declared the drift of Dhamma authoritatively. In the same way, also many other disciples also, like Sariputta, who are so sure, absolutely sure. So that should again give us confidence and inspiration to have faith in this path, in this goal and in this path. This goal and this path is nothing but confidence in this Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. And if you have absolute confidence in this, of course, the way we chant in the beginning, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko, that has been again explained by Buddha. This blessed one is the Arahant, a fully enlightened Buddha, endowed with wisdom and conduct, the welfarer, knower of the worlds, Lokavidu, incomparable, trainer of men to be tamed, Anuttaro Purisadhamma Sarati, teacher of gods and humans, Tattha Deva Manusana, Satta means teacher, Deva Manusya for both gods and humans, enlightened and blessed. He is possessed of unwavering faith in the Dhamma, thus well proclaimed by the Lord is the Dhamma, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, visible here and now, Sandiptiko, timeless, Akaliko, inviting inspection, Ehipassiko, leading onward, Upanayiko, to be comprehended by the wise, each one for himself. So in that way, these qualities of Dhamma, he is possessed of unwavering confidence in the Sangha also. Well directed is the Sangha of the Lord's disciples. It is very well directed. You might have seen so many congregations, so many religious congregations. There's a lot of disharmony, a lot of confusion, a lot of friction among the disciples, a lot of, like say, there's no direction. But this is very well directed, this Sangha. It's on the perfect path. It is of upright conduct, and it's on the right path. The four pairs of persons, as I was telling you, Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, Arhant, these are the four kinds of persons. They're all worthy of offerings. They are all worthy of hospitality, worthy of gifts, worthy of veneration, an unsurpassed field of merit in the world, and he is possessed of morality dear to the noble ones. This faith in this Buddha Dhamma Sangha is very crucial. It's the key. Once you have not blind faith, which is based on some kind of some blind influences, by thoroughly understanding the importance of Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha, and thereby we have complete faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. That is one crucial thing that you can say that where you are going to take rebirth. Unwavering faith. If you have unwavering faith, not even iota of doubt in this, in the supreme enlightenment of Buddha and the qualities of Buddha, and the beauty of the Dhamma, the teachings which will liberate you authoritatively and ultimately, and the noble disciples. It's not like one ignoble the disciples. And so many people, they claim they are the disciples of Buddha. But here, not such worldly disciples that Buddha is talking about. Worldly in the sense, there may be lay disciples or monastic disciples also. So those who have not achieved this Aryahood, all these four stages, Sotapanna, Sagadagami, Anagami, Arhat, they are called the Aryas. One who achieves any one of these stages, it's called Aryahood. So if you have this faith in this Aryahood or in these teachings or in the supremely enlightened Buddha, that is one indicator which can tell you about you that whether you are a Sotapanna or you are not. If you have some wavering faith, then you are not a Sotapanna. If your faith is authoritative in this Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you are a You will not take rebirth in the lower realms because you have become Sotapanna. You too have become Arya. And one more thing, Buddha is highlighting here, and he is possessed of morality dear to the noble ones, unbroken, without defect, unspotted, without inconsistency, liberating, uncorrupted, and conducive to concentration. Even though if it is only one Shila or 5 Shila, minimum 5 always Buddha talks about, because these 5 Shila, they are actually interrelated. If you take up one, the other 4 becomes easy. Not to kill, not to steal, not to indulge in sexual misconduct, not to lie, not to indulge in wrong speech, not to take intoxicants. If it is unblotched, unspotted, without defect, unbroken, in that these 5 precepts are followed by you. And if you have unwavering faith in this ultimate path of liberation, the ultimate discoverer of this liberation, the ultimate group of disciples who followed this path and discovered liberation, that is Sangha. So in this Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you have unwavering faith and unblotched or uncorrupted or without consistency, without inconsistency, unbroken this Shila. Because once you become Sotapanna, it is very difficult for you to break any of this Shila. It is not at all possible actually. Naturally, you become a Shilavan. Like Shila became an integral part of your personality. So that also you can find out in yourself. If the Shila has become an integral part of my personality, and if my faith is like it's unwavering, even an iota of doubt is not there in my mind about the authority of this Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. If these 2 things are there, then you are sure that you are a Sotapanna. You don't take rebirth in the lower realms, the animal realms, or the ghost realms, or this Titanic realm. The world of Titans, that means the Asuras. There I don't take rebirth. That is sure, that is assured. And I will not take rebirth, come to this world more than 7 times. Within 7 times, I will be emancipated. That you are sure, that much of purity you can have. Then there is no need for you to, like say, ask someone, ask your teacher, or ask Buddha, or ask some other a great arahant to know about your rebirth and all. If you are sure in these 2 things, the unwavering faith in the triple gem, the Dhamma and Sangha, and unbroken practice of this Shila, if these 2 things are sure, then you are Sotapanna. Then you are certain of achieving this Sotapanna thing and achieving Nibbana within 7 births. This Ananda is the mirror of Dhamma, whereby an Aryan disciple can discern of himself, I have destroyed hell, I am a stream winner, certain of attaining Nibbana. If these 2 things are very sure, unwavering faith in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and unblotched Shila practice, if these 2 things are sure, then you are sure of declaring yourself or having that confidence in yourself that you are a Sotapanna. Then the Lord, staying at Nadika in the brick house, gave a comprehensive discourse to the monks. This is morality, this is concentration, this is wisdom. So about morality, about concentration, about wisdom. Again, Buddha is repeating this in different places wherever he goes, because this is a summary of this, the training, the Noble Eightfold Path, established in Shila. If you are a householder, this 5 Shila. If you are renunciate in your renunciate Shila, and then develop concentration based on Shila, get jhanas, get this first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and keeping these 4 jhanas as the basis, get this panya, the insight knowledges, the vipassana knowledges, the insight knowledges about this nama, rupa, about the anicca, dukkha, and anatta of this nama, rupa, and thereby you achieve this panya, the wisdom. So this is what Buddha is teaching in all the places wherever he is visiting during these last days. And when Lord stayed at Nadika, as long as he wished, he went with a large company of monks to Vesali, where he stayed at Ambapali's grove. In Vesali, one Amravana, one mango grove was donated by Ambapali. Because she was a courtesan like this Vajjian princess. In their court, she was a courtesan. And of course, she was very renowned for her, for her beauty, for her other skills, and also for her intelligence, and also more than that, her faith in Buddha. And she had donated one mango orchard to Buddha and his disciples. And Buddha went there and he stayed in that Amravana, Ambapali's grove. And there the Lord addressed the monks. Monks, a monk should be mindful and clearly aware. This is our charge to you. And finally, Buddha started giving the importance of mindfulness, the Satipatthana, establishing in mindfulness is the key for the monks to achieve this, the knowledge of the ultimate realities and to get emancipated. And he starts explaining, like when you're walking, the Kayanupassana should be very mindful. Even towards your feelings also, you should be mindful. And the mind and mind objects, Chitta and Chittanupassana, always be mindful about your mind and also the body. The mind movements and the body movements. You should be mindful for your gross body and the subtle body. That is Kayanupassana and Vedananupassana. Gross mind and the subtle mind. That is Chittanupassana and Dhammanupassana. You should be always alert. You should be always mindful of these four kinds of objects. The gross physical objects, the subtle physical objects, the gross mental objects, the subtle mental objects. You should be mindful. In that way, Buddha gave this discourse on the importance of mindfulness. And also, he explains not only when you're sitting, even while walking, and whether you're eating, whether you're urinating, whether you're defecating, whether you are teaching, whether you're awake, whether you're in silence, whether you're doing any kind of work, you should be mindful. That's what many of you have learned in these different kinds of mindfulness programs that you have gone through. Different kinds of sense awareness, different kinds of mindfulness techniques. So all the time, even while driving, even while sweeping, so being mindful of the body, mindful of the mind itself. So that Buddha has taught in this Amravana or this Ambapali's mango grove, in this Vaishali. Now Ambapali, the courtesan, heard that the Lord had arrived at Vaishali and was staying at her grove. She had the best carriages made ready and drove from Vaishali to the park. She drove as far as the ground would allow, then alighted and went on foot where the Lord was. She saluted the Lord and sat down to one side. And as she sat, the Lord inspired, fired, delighted her with a talk on Dhamma. And being thus delighted, Ambapali said, Lord, may the Lord consent to take a meal from me tomorrow with his order of monks. The Lord consented by silence, and Ambapali, understanding his acceptance, rose from her seat, saluted the Lord, and passing him by the right, she departed. So this Ambapali, she is a very devout disciple of Buddha. She came to know and she came to Buddha. And of course, Buddha, out of compassion, he gave Dhamma to her and also her friends. And after listening to this Dhamma, she became, of course, very much inspired, and she invited Buddha for the next day's meal. So the Lord consented by silence, and she became happy, and she then departed by paying her respects to Buddha. Then on the way, she met this Lichavi princess. The Lichavi princess, of course, her boss, the princess, this Lichavi princess, they are the princess, you see, and she was the courtesan in their court. So, and of course, they were also very well dressed, and they were all young actually, and many of them were young lichavis. They were in different colors. Highly, of course, when they want to meet Buddha, all of them, they dress up well, and the same way these young lichavis, when they were also very well dressed, and they came, and they were also coming from the other direction to meet Buddha. And she was returning back, and they were coming from Vesali to meet Buddha. And there they asked this Ambapali, so where did you go? Why you are in so hurry? She wanted to go back, and she had to prepare all the food for Buddha because the next day morning. That's why she was hurrying up, and they asked her, why are you in hurry? Why are you in hurry? Then she explained about her happiness that Buddha accepted her invitation for the next day meal. And then they were also actually during, after all, they were also great disciples of Buddha. And they were also so eager to invite Buddha for the next day meal. And they told this Amrapali, we give you 1,000 coins. We will take that, that responsibility of offering food to Buddha. You just give your consent that we will just transfer that blessing, that chance, that opportunity for us to offer alms food to Buddha the next day. But she rejected very authoritatively, even though they were her boss or her superiors, she was dependent on them, but still she ignored. She actually rejected their offer. She told, so forget about 1,000 gold coins. If you give me the entire Vaishali kingdom along with its revenue, I don't care, because this is the greatest blessing. The opportunity to offer alms food to Buddha is the greatest blessing. So whatever you give, I'm least bothered. In that way, she rejected their proposal. Then the Lichavis, they were also very much thrilled. So how much confidence, how much faith this lady has on Buddha. We have been beaten by this mango woman. We have been cheated by this mango woman. And they set out for Amrapali's group. And of course, they were also happy. And with their happiness, they started teasing her. You have cheated us. And of course, they left. And then these people, they reached where Buddha was staying, that is Ambapali's guru. And the Lord, having seen the Lichavis from afar, said, monks, any of you who have not seen the 33 gods, just look at this troop of Lichavis, take a good look at them, and you will get an idea of the 33 gods. They were so much good looking, so much well decked, well dressed, these Lichavi princes. And Buddha, he asked his monks, if you have not seen the 33 gods, the Taotimsa gods, where this Inda or this Sakka was the chief of those gods. Now you can see these handsome, good-looking, well-dressed, these Lichavis. So you will get some glimpse of the 33 gods. In that way, so Buddha, he appreciated these Lichavis. Then the Lichavis dove in their carriages as far as the ground would allow. Then they alighted and went on foot to where the Lord was, saluted him and sat down to one side. And as they sat, the Lord instructed, inspired, fired, delighted them with the talk on Dhamma. And being thus delighted, they said, Lord, may the Lord consent to take a meal from us tomorrow with his order of the monks. But Lichavis, I have already accepted a meal for tomorrow from the courtesan Ambapali. Again, they try to, get that opportunity from Buddha, the receiver. The donor is Ambapali. The donor rejected their request, their proposal. And now Buddha also rejects their proposal. Already I promised Ambapali for my tomorrow's meal. Now I can't accept your invitation. In that way, Buddha rejected. And again, these Lichavis, they started developing some kind of appreciation, not jealousy towards Ambapali. What a lucky woman she is. How blessed she is. This meal, this of course, many of them they knew this may be the last meal that they could offer to Buddha. Because now he is going towards Kuchinara, where he may take Mahāparinibbāna. He will take Mahāparinibbāna. So now again, we don't get the opportunity. Now this lady is a very lucky woman. She got this opportunity to offer this last meal in our province to Buddha. In that way, they have some kind of appreciation and some kind of disappointment also. But anyways, they appreciate it. We have been beaten by that mango woman. We have been cheated by that mango woman. Mango woman is this Amrapali. Then having rejoiced and delighted in his talk, they rose from their seats, saluted the Lord, and passing him by on the right, they departed. You see the great devotee like Amrapali and this great rulers of this Vaishali, both these groups, they were actually given discourses, blessings. And of course, this Amrapali, she got this special blessing of offering food to Buddha the next day. And in that way, Buddha's mission or Buddha's travel in this Vaishali also became successful. And during that time, this Amrapali, of course, when night was clearly over, having had choice, hard and soft food prepared at her home, announced to the Lord that the meal was ready. Having dressed and taken robe and bowl, the Lord went with the order of monks to Amrapali's residence and sat down on the prepared seat. And she served the Buddha and his monks with choice and hard and soft food till they were satisfied. And when the Lord had taken his hand from the bowl, Amrapali took a low stool and sat down to one side. So seated, she said, Lord, I give this park to the order of monks with the Buddha as its head. The Lord accepted the park, and then he instructed, inspired, fired, and delighted her with a talk on Dhamma, and after which he rose from his seat and departed. See, even during his last visit also, she offered the park to Buddha and his Sangha. And of course, initially it was like Buddha used to use that Amrapali. Now she completely donated that to the Sangha. Even though she knew very well that Buddha will not be here after this visit, but she offered that Ambravana to Buddha. Then while staying at Vaishali, the Lord delivered a comprehensive discourse to the monks. Again, there were different groups of monks in that's a huge province, big province. There Buddha used to meet so many other groups of monks also. And there again, he highlighted the importance of this Shila Samadhi Panya and explained about their commitment to this Shila Samadhi Panya, which is nothing but the fourth noble truth, the Noble Eightfold Path. So Buddha insisted to practice that authoritatively with commitment. Then he stayed at Amrapali's group as long as he wished, and he went with a large company of monks to the little village of Belua. There was one more village in this Vajjian province. There he went along with his disciples, monks. Again, there he told all the monks, you should go to anywhere in Vaishali where you have friends or acquaintances or supporters and spend the rains there. I shall spend the rains here in Belua. Very good, Lord. Replied the monks. They did so, but the Lord spent the rains in Belua. Other people, they went to different places. In that small village, Belua, Buddha spent his rains retreat. Rains retreat means 3 months, this July, August, September. And during the rains, the Lord was attacked by a severe sickness with sharp pains as if he were about to die. But he endured all his mindfully, clearly aware and without complaining. He thought it is not fitting that I should attain final Nibbana without addressing my followers and taking leave of the order of monks. I must hold this disease in check by energy and apply myself to the force of life. He did so and the disease abated. Actually, he thought of some thoughts arose in his mind to take Nibbana because of the pain. He fell sick in that during the rains retreat. Lot of piercing these sensations. So, but because of his mindfulness, because of his, resolve that I should teach so many other groups of monks and other lay disciples. And therefore, he postponed his death, actually, his great demise, his Mahāparinibbāna. because he wanted to fulfill the task of reaching all disciples until this Kushinara. A few more months he thought of maintaining his body, his life force, without yielding, without giving up to these pains of the body. So he could, with all mindfulness, he could maintain his life force. Then the Lord, having recovered from his sickness, as soon as he felt better, went outside and sat on a prepared seat in front of his dwelling. Then the Venerable Ananda came to him, saluted him, sat down to one side and said, Lord, I have seen the Lord in comfort, and I have seen the Lord's patient enduring. And Lord, my body was like a drunkard's. I lost my bearings and things were unclear to me because of the Lord's sickness. He was so much attached to Buddha because he was just a Sotapanna. He was not an Arhat. And of course, he knew his mission also. So he helped so many millions of people with his tremendous service, this Ananda. So he was having some kind of ill feeling, like some kind of sadness. Oh, Buddha may take Mahāparinibbāna now. In that way, he was thinking. The only thing that was some comfort to me was the thought, the Lord will not attain final Nibbana until he has made some statement about the order of monks. And he was having that responsibility of how to run this Sangha. Even after the death of the Mahāparinibbāna Buddha, that was also like one of the the things that were bothering this Ananda. But he knew, so without giving some statement about how to run this, Buddha will not take Mahāparinibbāna. There is one more thing that I had in my mind. That's why I was not very much, like say, perturbed or disturbed. That way he told Lord Buddha. But Ananda, what does the order of monks expect of me? I have taught the Dhamma. Ananda, making no inner and outer. The Tathagata has no teacher's fist in respect of doctrines. If there is anyone who thinks I shall take charge of the order, or the order should refer to me, let him make some statement about the order. But the Tathagata does not think in such terms. So why should the Tathagata make a statement about that? I'm misbothered after my death. There is no, because there is nothing I have, I'm holding on to myself. Everything I have given up. The teacher's fist means like, there is something the teachers hold on to. Because at the time of death, they can give it and they can, like say, they will have some kind of intentions to like keep one person as the head of that organization. But I don't have all that kind of ideas. I have given everything. All the teachings are open. It's like there's nothing I'm hiding. There's nothing I'm holding. Everything is open. Now, so now the Dhamma is your teacher. Based on the Dhamma only, the Sangha should move on. So in that way, Buddha is actually, indirectly he is telling this Ananda that there is no need of a successor. There is nothing like a successor after me. So I am now old, Ananda, worn out, venerable, one who has traversed life's path. I have reached the term of life, which is 80. That time Buddha was 80 years old. Just as an old cart is made to go by being held together with straps, so the Tathagata's body is kept going by being strapped up. It is only when the Tathagata withdraws his attention from outward signs and by the cessation of certain feelings, enters into this signless concentration of mind, and this body knows comfort. So now it is time for me. There is no need to continue my life all the way like an old cart. So when the cart or the car or vehicle, when it becomes old, you have to give it up. You need not keep on repairing it and using it, and it will create more problem only. The same way, my body has become worn up, like an old cart. Now it is the time for me to, like say, enter into Mahāparinibbāna, like take away all these feelings and these perceptions. That's how, if you want to take Mahāparinibbāna, one should withdraw all these sensory perceptions, mental perceptions, the feelings, and then only one can enter into Mahāparinibbāna. So the time has come. In that way, Buddha is telling this Ananda. Therefore, Ananda, now my final teaching to all of you is you should live as islands Attadipa Bhava. You might have, some of you might have heard of this. Be light unto yourself. So you should be like, you should, that seclusion also you should create for yourself, not isolation and seclusion. Go inwards and be light unto yourself. You just become the light to yourself. Deepa means like two meanings. Deepa means Dvipa, island. At the same time, Deepa means the light. So both one should become actually. One should seclude, go inwards with this seclusion from the worldliness and the world, this isolation, and also be a light to yourself. With this Dhamma, Dhamma is very much there as a guiding principle. And use this Dhamma and by yourself and be a light unto yourself. So teach yourself. Using the principles of Dhamma, the teachings that I have already given. You don't require any teacher now. Dhamma itself is your teacher. So in that way, Buddha is encouraging Ananda and other people not to depend on the others now. The one whom they should depend, that Buddha now is going, now he is departing. Now depend on his teachings, that's all. There is no need to depend on other individuals. There is no need to, like say, appoint head of this organization. So now to depend on the teachings of the enlightened one, that is Buddha. In that way, he is urging his disciples to be their own refuge. And to now you should live as islands unto yourselves, being your own refuge, with no one else as your refuge, with the Dhamma as an island, with the Dhamma as your refuge, with no other refuge. Oh, now individuals you need not depend on. You should depend on the Dhamma, the teachings. And how does a monk live as an island unto yourself? With no other refuge. Here, Ananda, a monk abides contemplating the body as body, earnestly, clearly aware, mindful, and having put away all hankering and fretting for the world, and likewise with regard to feelings, mind, and mind objects. And, and that's how one should live as an island, and one should give light to oneself with no other refuge. And those who now, in my time or afterwards, live thus, they will become the highest if they are desirous of learning. That's why I always insist, like, seclusion is important. You might have learned many things by this time, many of you. But to contemplate them, digest them, comprehend them, ponder over them, reflect on them, on the teachings, seclusion is important. Isolation is important. So through isolation, through contemplation, by reflecting on the teachings, then they will penetrate into your being, your knowledge. Your knowledge become more, like say, authoritative about these teachings. The Dhamma knowledge becomes more authoritative when one reflect them alone. Of course, listening, learning, being with teacher, all these things will help. But in addition to these things, reflecting on the teachings, reflecting of the Dhamma is also equally important. That will take you to the highest. That's what is the Buddha's authoritative declaration. Now enough is enough. So many versions of Dhamma, so many ways and means of understanding Dhamma have been explained by me. Now it is time for you to reflect on them by being secluded. And let's say, let them percolate into your understanding. Then definitely you will be liberated. So in that way, Buddha has authoritatively declared that there is no need of appointing someone as the head of the Sangha. Now the Dhamma itself is the head of the Sangha. So it depends on the Dhamma, depend on these teachings, and thereby depend on yourself only. No need to depend on some other individual. In that way, Buddha authoritatively declared. So then they will get the highest. That means the highest goal, that is the goal of Nibbana, they can achieve in that way. Buddha declared that there is no need of a successor to Buddha. So that is the end of second recitation section. The second section in this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta that is concluded. So important thing that I was telling you, the mirror of Dhamma, complete faith in this path of enunciation, which was discovered by, authoritatively discovered by the Supremely Enlightened Buddha, authoritatively handed over to many people, both lay people and the monastics, and by practicing which they became enlightened. So the ultimate discoverer of Dhamma, and by practicing it, many people have become enlightened. So these things constitute Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, the triple gem. So if you have complete faith in this, that is the powerful indicator, the reflection, just like the reflection in the mirror. And the second reflection is like the unblotched, unbroken practice of the Shila, at least this Panchashila. So if these two things are assured in one's life, in one's understanding, in one's, like say, comprehension, then he is sure that he is a Sotapanna. He will not fall into the lower realms. He will definitely take the rebirth as a human being, if not a divine being. And maximum 7 times he will come back to this world of the few months are divine beings, and then he will be completely emancipated. He will achieve Nibbana. So this is the mirror of Dhamma, the absolute faith and absolute practice of the Shila. These two things are good enough. There is no need to, like say, think so much, doubt so much whether I became Sotapanna or not, whether I will take rebirth in the hells or the Petar realm and all. You need not worry at all. If these two things are perfect, you are sure that you are a Sotapanna. You have entered the stream of Nibbana, stream enterer. And of course, to achieve these two things also, it's not so easy. You should keep on listening to Dhamma, should keep on learning, and should be in the right association, you should practice meditations, and you should, every day, as I used to tell you, practice meditation, practice this Punya Kriyas, and Shila also should practice regularly, authoritatively. And of course, for that, you should be quite generous also, should be quite service-oriented also, be quite enthusiastic in helping other people to learn these things also. All these things also, of course, definitely one should keep on practice. Then you will be authoritatively established in this Shraddha and Shila, this right faith and this right morality, right virtue. Then you are sure that you have become Sotapanna. So that is the assurance given by Buddha in this second section. That is this mirror of Dhamma. In the first section, it is the drift of Dhamma, the drift of the teachings, where this flow, it will take us. This flow will take us to the ultimate bliss of liberation, ultimate bliss of Nibbana. There are the different ways and means. Dhamma is all about the different ways and means to take us to this ultimate stage of liberation, that is Nibbana, ultimate state of Nibbana. So the drift of Dhamma and the mirror of Dhamma, these are the two highlighting points, two key messages in this first section and the second section of the Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. Okay, I think with this we'll conclude. So if you have some questions, you can ask, and then we conclude.
Namaste, Guruji.
Yes, sir, Upasak.
So in this one sutta where Lord Buddha, he goes to forest because there's some fight going on between monks in Kosambi or somewhere, I'm not sure. Lord Buddha, he once goes to the forest for meditating alone because there was a fight between other monks in Kosambi, I think. So in that sutta, he meets an elephant in that forest. And the elephant takes care of him, helps him, gives him food, protects him. And eventually, after a while, the monks come and Lord Buddha goes back with them. And while the elephant tries to follow him, Lord Buddha asks the elephant to not follow him to the human place and to stay in the forest. And then he leaves, and the elephant dies of heartbreak. So, in that situation, I know the elephant should be free of attachment, but I felt really bad that Lord Buddha should have allowed the elephant to come with him. And so, how do I let go of that kind of thinking? Even in general, I feel like that about myself or other people.
Of course, even Ananda also, he weeps, he cries, and he feels tremendous depression. Then he comes to know that Buddha is leaving him. So, of course, it is because of his immaturity, like he was just a Sotapanna. When a person becomes Arahant, so attachment to everything, whether it is to Buddha himself, all that kind of attachment will go away. Some kind of sentimentality, which is very much there until you become an Arahant. So that's the human limitation. If you are an Arahant, then you will be free from all kinds of attachments. Even for that elephant also. Actually, elephant, it's in some scriptures they say it becomes it's bodhisattva. That elephant is a bodhisattva. So bodhisattvas definitely they will have tremendous attachment to the Buddhas. Tremendous attachment in the sense veneration. Sometimes too much of veneration also leads to a kind of attachment, like just like in the case of Ananda. So many un-Aryan disciples, they felt very bad when Buddha, like say, took Mahāparinibbāna. And of course, the familial attachments also, when he left his home. His father is also a very great man, very wise man. His mother, his cousins, they were also very great. And after Buddha's enlightenment, they also became, many of them, they became Arahants. Many of them, they became Sotapanna, Sarvagami, Arahants. So that much greatness they were having. But after all, some quality of Buddha always, or for that matter in the world, some good quality of some person definitely have some impact on the other person. And that other person definitely have some kind of attachment to that. Even for so many good things also we have attachment. As you see in this case of elephant, this Parilag elephant and this Ananda, and so many examples we can see. But of course, that kind of attachment, it will not lead to so much of grief, so much of pain. And it's again the Kala Niyama. Sometimes when you are so much attached to something or someone, if it is a very good attachment, with that attachment, if someone dies, that is actually a superior attachment. That will take you to, if not, of course, definitely it will not take to Nibbana. Nibbana needs an absolutely detached mind, but it may take you to some higher state of rebirth. You may become a divine being, like in this case of elephant, or in so many other cases. People with tremendous attachment to some great quality of great Arahants or great Buddhas, like our Gautama Buddha, with some attachment, relatively a wholesome attachment. With that attachment, if they die, so they take rebirth in the divine realms, in some superior realms. That is the power of faith. To the people who are liberated or who have achieved something, attained some superior states, or if they become, many of them, they become Sotapanna, Sagdagami, Anagamis also. Yeah, sometimes even some Arahants, Faith may be the triggering force. And after that, their wisdom may open up and they become arahants. So in that way, all these kinds of attachments, which are faith-based attachments, this is the right faith. As I used to give some discourses on right faith in the right individuals, the right path, the right view, the right goals. We have right faith. It is not bad, not wrong. So it is good actually. And majority of the people in this world who became liberated, who become enlightened, they become enlightened with this basis of right faith only. Even in the case of many great arahants, like even in the Sariputta also, he developed tremendous faith with little bit of wisdom. Initial trigger was wisdom, but after that he developed tremendous faith, and again that faith pushed him to develop absolute wisdom. That way, this faith and wisdom, they go hand in hand actually. They go together. So initially, as an animal, this Parilayaka, maybe, and also it's a bodhisattva. It has to go through so many lives to become, let's say, the Supreme Buddha. So that faith itself is good enough, powerful enough for that animal, for that elephant to take rebirth in some superior rebirth, in some higher state of existence, like one divine state or in the human state itself, as one king or one great wise man. That, of course, Buddhas, they know. They can't yield to everyone. There are millions of people who are having faith in Buddha, number one. And that faith itself is good enough to take them to the higher levels. Even if they die. Death is not a big thing for the Buddhas or that kind of bodhisattvas or even for Sotapannas, Sagalagamis also. Now, death is one small interval in this repeated lives after lives that they have to go through to become bodhisattvas. And many times that death will become a promotion rather than demotion. If you are getting promotion, why should you feel bad? If you're getting demotion, you should feel bad. Because of that reason, again, Buddha, he did not, like say, allowed this. Many times, not only Buddha, many times Buddha had to go alone and he used to tell people, don't follow me. And in this last message also, you see, Attahi Attano Nato, Attadipo Bhavo. Just depend on yourself. I just show you the path. You need not follow me all the time. You follow the path. So in that way, when you are asking people to become independent, you too should become independent. When you are asking people to be isolated, and you too should become isolated most of the times. Always being, like say, surrounded by many people, then like Buddha was telling this Ananda, what happened to this person, that person, that way. So much of talking, so much of unnecessary things also involved when there is interactions. That's why seclusion is a great blessing, either for the teacher or for the disciple. Sometimes they have to be together. Sometimes they have to be separated. They have to be isolated. Even the most special relation, the teacher and student relation also. The same way, that is all sentimentality, childishness. Always I want to be with you. Like the children, they will be behind their parents. I want to be with you. But of course, when he grows, he learns the importance of being alone, or each one has their own responsibilities, duties that he starts respecting. But when he's a child, always he wants to be with his mother or with the father. In that way, it is childishness. The Buddha wanted people to become more and more mature, you see. That's why all great teachers, they teach you, they help you, they will lead you to some extent for some distance, and then they will leave you alone. Then the rest of the path one has to trod by himself or herself. So that's the reason why or too much dependence on the teacher also. Of course, initially, definitely, the teachers, they know how much they should lead them by being with them, and how much and when they should disconnect from them. Those things the teachers know, and accordingly, Buddha could handle that elephant also. You did not feel bad for the elephant.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Guruji.
Okay. Okay, any other thing? Any other question? Any question in this sutta? Or of course, any question also in this.
Vandami Vanteji.
Sukhiyantu Pasat.
In other lecture regarding the storms, whenever there is any storm arises in mind, you do as a last resort Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, Sanghanusati. But I did not know about what is to do, what it means. But in the lecture given by Lord Buddha in Natika to Ananda, it is clearly mentioned how to develop your faith in Buddha, how to develop your faith in Dhamma, how to develop your faith in Sangha. So I got clear comprehension of that, and you always said what you should develop what unwavering faith in triple gem. So in this sutta, it is made clear that how to increase our faith in the triple gem. So very thanks for that this sutta has clearly elaborated all these things.
Okay, now what you have understood about this faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, can you briefly tell me quickly, just 1 or 2 minutes?
Yes, Bhanteji. As faith in Buddha means you have to remember the 9 qualities of Buddha and try to bring some of them in your mind, and 6 qualities in Dhammas and 9 qualities in Sangha. You have to remember it. Anusati means frequently remembering it, and so that you may get inspiration and increase in faith.
Correct. So, of course, this very much explained in so many suttas. In the Jaga Suttas, there are so many suttas. Buddha talks about this contemplation of the qualities of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Again, the essence of all this, whether it is qualities of Buddha, the 9 qualities of Buddha, the 6 qualities of Dhamma, the 9 qualities of Sangha, total 24 qualities of this triple gem, Tiratana. That's what is represented in this Dhamma wheel also. The Dhamma wheels, there are 24 spokes, right? Those 24 spokes, they represent these 24 qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Again, the essence, the gist of this 24 qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha is nothing but the absolute emancipation, the complete transcendence of this worldliness to the non-worldliness, or this from mundane to supramundane, from this samsara to nibbana. That is what is the essence of all these 24 qualities of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So if that is very much ingrained in your confidence, in your faith, in your understanding, in your wisdom, then automatically the faith will come. Automatically the love, the adoration, the gratitude, the respect will come to Buddha. And these 9 qualities also, that's all. Enlightened one, blessed one, teacher of divine beings and the gods and the humans, Lokavidu, all-knower. All these things, it comes only with this ultimate knowledge of Nibbana only. And all this Swakato, Bhagavata, Dhammo, Sanditiko, here and now you can get the result, you will see the results. Hipasiko, come and investigate by yourself. You too have the beautiful mind as I have. All these things, again, these are the versions, these are the proclamations, these are the declarations, these are the instructions of the supremely enlightened Buddhas only. And the Sangha, it is so pure, so straightforward in its nature, in its let's say, practice of Dhamma, Sangha, and thereby they are liberated. That's why they are very worthy. So all these things, directly or indirectly, they are actually talking about the purpose of human life, that is transcending from the worldliness to the non-worldliness, from the mundane to supramundane, from samsara to nibbana. So that's why if you develop faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, because the gist of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha is this only, then automatically you will have that faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. And once you have faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, automatically you will start practicing these 5 precepts, and they become very natural for you. It becomes a part of your personality, your living style. And if these 2 things are, like say, very clear, then you are a Sotapanna. Then one need not worry about falling into the lower realms. That is the mirror of Dhamma. Yeah, so in that way, so any quality of Buddha, if you think, it will take you to this ultimate goal of liberation and the path of liberation. Any quality of Dhamma, if you contemplate, it will take you to the ultimate quality of this Nibbana, this goal, ultimate goal of the life, and the path to reach there. And any quality of Sangha, if you contemplate, it will take you there only. And that is the power of these 24 qualities of this Tiratana. In that way, if you comprehend, then automatically the faith will not shatter. When an iota of doubt also will not arise. Isn't it? Professor?
Yes, Bhanteji. Yes, Bhanteji.
Fine. Okay, any other thing? Yeah.
Vandami Bhanteji.
Sukhivantu Upasar.
Bhanteji, during the stay in Vaishali by Lord Buddha, when the disciples or monks asked him to appoint in place of you after your Mahāparinibbāna, so Buddha says that there is no need of appointing anybody. Dhamma will be guiding you, and you have to become a light, your own light, or your own teacher. And in some way, and says that I have taught everything to you, nothing is left.
Correct.
But in somewhere I have seen in one of the books, I am not able to remember, there what he, while sitting under a tree along with some monks, he, Buddha picked some leaves of the tree, leaves, and asked the disciples which are more in number, whether on the tree or in my hand. So disciple says, on the tree leaves are more in number than in the hand.
Correct.
So
I understood your question.
Similarly, I taught what you can understand. There is more things left in the nature. I did not teach because these cannot be understood by you.
No, that is not the statement. The last statement you said, that is wrong. The last statement you said, it will not be understood by you. No, that's not the thing. So why Buddha has not taught so many other things? Because they are not relevant for you. They are not needed by you. Like for example, I will tell you. Like say, how far is let us say the Brahma world from here? Or what is the constitution of the ocean? How many kinds of animals are there in the oceans? So many questions. Now the curious people they want to know about 1 million things. There is no end for curiosity. You can again you can ask 1,000,000 things about one leaf or one stone or one hillock or one tree or one person, about psychology, about oceanography, about astronomy, about atomic physics. There are 1,000,000 things. There is no end for curiosity. There is no end for knowledge. But all those knowledges, all that information, it will not lead you to liberation. I know, as in that sutta, Simsapa forest, that Buddha was there. So the important, the necessary information is only this much, what I am holding in my hand. The unnecessary knowledge, it is not, it's like the leaves of this forest, which is not required for you, which is not relevant for you, which is not required and relevant for your liberation, for your emancipation. So that is the reason why there is no need for you to ask about all these unnecessary things. Whatever relevant knowledge is required, that has already been given to you. Like these leaves in this, in my hand, in my fist. So in that way, so though Buddha has given only this much of knowledge, that itself is 82,000, 84,000 dhammas, you know. This much of knowledge, that one handful of leaves, that much of knowledge itself is 84,000 the dhammas, which will take people, the different kinds of mindsets, the mentalities, the temperaments of the mind towards Nibbana. That is good enough. Once you become Arahant, then automatically all other knowledges, which are not relevant, it may open up. In some cases, it may open up. For Samma Sambuddha, of course, it will definitely open up. For some Arahants, they will get the Patisambhidana knowledges and other knowledges about the world, about the existence, about this materiality, all these things, mentality, all these are so many things one may get. If you don't get also, no need to worry. What is there? What is there in all these worldly knowledges? Many times they will become a hindrance. That's why I don't teach all those unnecessary things. So now, this much that I have taught you, that is good enough for you to practice and to become enlightened and to reach this ultimate happiness of Nibbana. In that sense, Buddha, so he asked the monks to depend on yourself. Whatever knowledge you have gained from me, that Dhamma that you have gained from me, you practice it, you contemplate it again and again, and until you get the complete emancipation. So in that way, Buddha encouraged these Ananda, the disciples, to work on oneself, to become enlightened to themselves. In that way, you can't relate that sutta with this sutta. So there, that sutta was given with a different purpose. No need to think about so many unnecessary knowledges of the world. You just understand these Four Noble Truths and you just ponder over them, just realize them by practicing the Shil Samadhi Panya, and that will take you to the ultimate liberation, ultimate emancipation. So in that sense, that sutta, that Simsapa Forest Sutta was given by Buddha. But here Buddha is talking about, so whatever I have told you, that you practice and be light unto yourself. There is no need of any other teacher who has to give you any other new knowledge or new Dhamma that will help you to progress in this path of liberation. I have given everything. I don't have any teacher's fist, closed fist I don't have. I have opened up everything. There is no other technique, there is no other teaching, there is no other meditation is required for you now. Everything is opened up. All the techniques, all the teachings, all the tips are already given to you. Now the ball is in your court. You have to practice and you have to achieve. So in that sense, this sutta was given to the disciples here in this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. In that way, that is altogether a different context. Comparing the forest, the leaves of the forest and the leaves in his hand. It is to show you the relevant teachings, the relevant knowledge that will take you to this goal.
But one more small question, Bhantaji.
Yeah.
What you had explained is understood and is correct for adopting by Upasaka or people of this world. But I want to ask one small thing, that is whatever the remaining questions which are not relevant to the people, their answers are also known to Buddha. For information purpose, I am asking.
Of course, it was very much known.
Very much known.
Very much known. That's why he told, no, authoritatively, whatever I know is like the leaves of this forest. Like whatever question, whether it is relevant question or irrelevant question, about astronomy, about universe, about oceanography, everything, for an omniscient Buddha. What is the meaning of omniscience? Means the knowledge about everything.
Everything.
So the Buddha, Supreme Buddhas, they have the knowledge about everything.
Okay.
They have this omniscient knowledge. But they don't teach all those things. Because, see, the lifespan of Buddhas is 80 years. So if you want to teach all those things, first of all, of course, that it's of no use. Point number one. Point number two, there is no time, you see, to teach the relevant things. If you keep on teaching irrelevant things, then when you will teach the relevant things?
Yeah.
Then there is no time.
The people who lived in this era, Buddha's era, they were fortunate to visit, to see, to listen. They are very, very fortunate people. But whereas in this particular our era, can we find any arahants in the world?
Nah, that's what Buddha told, no, in this Mahāparinibbāna. Don't worry about arahants. Don't worry about other teachers. Dhamma is there very much with you. It just depend on Dhamma, depend on yourself, comprehend and learn.
Okay.
If you again start searching for arahants, again there's no end for it. And you may get or you may not get. And again, many times arahants may be good teachers or they may not be good teachers also.
Okay.
Many arahants, they try to remain mum, they try to be silent also. That is also possible. So in that way, don't worry about the arahants or other enlightened people. Now Dhamma is with you.
Okay.
You should be happy with the Dhamma, because after a few hundred years, they say, like, this Dhamma also will disappear. So then it will be very miserable. So no Dhamma, no Buddha, then it is very difficult to, like, say, progress in this path. So now luckily we have this Dhamma, so we should feel happy for that, and we should learn as deeply as possible, and then and we should progress. That is the only option that we are left with, Upasaka.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bhantaji.
Sukhihantu, Upasaka. Mangal ho. Okay, I think we'll conclude.
Yeah.
Or any other question? Okay, we'll conclude. Someone wants to ask something?
Sir?
Yeah.
Hello, I have one question. Sir,
Go ahead,
can I ask Hindi, sir?
It's related to today's discourse or some other question?
No, some other question, sir.
You just attend our programs. From next week, sir. We have from Wednesday, we have one more program, and then you can ask. Today, I think.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
May all of you be happy, healthy, and peaceful. May all beings also be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Sukhiyant Mangal.